Hi, Rohan. How are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Very good. Very good. So, today, what do you want to do?
Today, sir, I want to look at the properties of a circle.
Okay, properties of circle. So, tell me what you know about it so that we could continue from there.
So far, what I already know is how to calculate a circle and draw a circle according to a point of origin.
Mhm.
So 0, 0, how to find the radius in the formula x squared plus y squared equals r squared.
Correct.
Another formula for finding radius is, I think, radius equals the square root of x squared plus y squared.
Square. Yes, yes. If x and y are coordinate points on the circle.
Yes.
Okay? And
And
the
the
center
last
being at
thing
origin.
was a chord. And the last thing I know is a chord, what a chord is, and differentiating a chord from a diameter.
Perfect. Very good. So, you know a lot. So, let me just share with you a whiteboard and then we can have some examples. We could also have examples from your book. But let me just make some sketches and then we'll work and try to understand what circle really is. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's say we'll just draw a circle. And what you said was that you're basically learning circle with center at the origin, right? So that makes things
Yeah.
very simple. So that means what you're trying to say is that if we have a circle, which is kind of like this, let's say this is our circle, and the center is O right there at the origin. In that case, any point on the circle could be written as, let's say this point P can be written as P, X and Y are the coordinate points, right? So
Yes,
as you
sir.
can see here, if I drop a perpendicular from here, in that case, what is X? X is this coordinate value, right? So it
Year
is
run.
that length, right? And Y is this length. Is that okay?
Okay, so basically rise and run, right, sir?
Rise and run. And this is the radius r. And as you said, radius r will be equal to square root of x square plus y square. Is it clear to you? Since,
Yes, sir.
hypotenuse is r, so you could write r square equals to x square plus y square. And then you get the value of r, which is square root of x square plus y square. So remember one thing, that r is always greater than equal to 0. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So specifically, it should be greater than 0, but no harm in writing 0 also. That means the circle doesn't really exist if r is 0, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
so it is greater than 0 to be precise. Correct. So that is what the circle is. Now, you also mentioned about the chord. So as you know, any 2 points on the circle, when you connect them with a straight line, let's say we have this point as C and D, in that case, CD is the chord.
Yes, sir. So basically a chord is it doesn't go past through the middle point, right, sir? Unlike a diameter.
Okay, the chord is connecting any 2 points, and if I do connect through the zero origin, then there is still a chord, but it is given a very specific name, which is diameter. So you
Yeah,
can
and
say,
if it doesn't touch the point, the middle point, then
so
it is considered a chord.
yes, so it is diameter is the longest chord. That will help you to understand that diameter is the longest chord. That means it is a chord. Do you understand? By definition,
Okay.
chord is a straight line connecting 2 points on the circle. So the whole thing will lie inside the circle, right? And the longest one will go through the center, in this case, where center is your center of the circle. And that's how you'll get your chord and the diameter. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now, here is another very important property of circle. Let me just erase this and draw another circle and give you the property of circle. Let's say we have a circle like this. In that case, if I have chords, right? One chord here, another chord here, then the right bisectors of the chord. So if I do a right bisector of this chord, and if I do the right bisector of that chord, then the points where they meet, the right bisectors of the chord will be the center of the circle. You understand?
Okay, sir.
So if
So
I have a,
basically, if
yeah,
we had two chords, right, sir, then we would have to solve like midpoint for both of them, draw a line, and then see where they intersect.
correct. So the right bisectors of the chords will always go through the center of the circle. Remember that part. So many times they will only say, find the equation of the right bisector of the chord, verify that it goes through the center. That becomes a very interesting question.
So, sir, I'm just gonna say as a recap. So, right bisector tells us that it goes through point of origin, right, sir?
Not point of origin, you
Point.
should say center, because
Okay.
always the circle may not have center at the origin. Is it okay? So center equation is x square plus y square equals to r square. That means the center, let's say C, is at origin. Is that clear to you? However,
Yes, sir.
if I change the center to a point, let's say some other point, which is GH, not the center. In that case, the center is shifted, G units right and H units up, right? So therefore, the equation will be x minus G whole square plus y minus H whole square equals to R square. So very important to remember this. So the general equation is with the center at G and H, and the equation will be x minus G whole square plus y minus H whole square equals to R square. Is this clear to you?
Okay, so G represents the run and H represents rise.
X and Y value for center. So this center is at G and H. This center for me is not at 0, 0. Do you see that? Origin is
Yes,
here.
sir.
So I've
So
shifted
this,
my X value and Y value, and there you go. That
okay.
center is at G and H. Do you see it clearly?
Yes, sir. So x squared plus y squared equals r squared only at point of origin if we had a graph, and the x minus g square plus y minus h square equals r square is only used when it's not at the point of origin on a graph. So that
Center.
would be like
Center.
even, so would that even be considered if we were to move like half or even like
Any unit.
0.1?
Anything. G could be anything, any real number, right? So G and H are real numbers. All these are real numbers, right? So G and H belongs to real numbers. Any real number. Is that clear? So
Yes, sir.
coordinate plane gives you all the real numbers. So that is how we should interpret the circle. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So now, let us say that I have the circle whose equation is x square plus y square equals to 100. In that case, radius is equal to what?
It would be square root of 100, which is 10.
Perfect. So that is it. So if I have equation like 4x square plus 4y square equals to, let us say 16. In that case, what is the radius?
It would be 4, sir.
So you have to divide everything by 4, right?
Yeah, so that would be 4. And then you would have to do square root. And then that would be 2, sir.
Which is 2 square, and therefore r equals to 2. Correct.
So, sir, in that case, if you have a coefficient for x and y, first you have to divide it. Then whatever you get as your outcome, you just square root your answer.
Correct. So that's very important to understand. Now, let me sketch another diagram, and then we'll get into the equation of this particular circle. So I'm just randomly, I can use the utility for drawing circles, but I prefer to just draw it like this. If I have a point on this circle, which is, let us say, let me get this point P as 6 and 8. Of course, we have minus 6. Correct. Now tell me the equation of this circle. We know the center is at the origin. Tell me the equation of this circle.
So if for the equation, sir, so first we have to find radius. So it would be r equals to square root in brackets -6 squared plus 8 squared, which would be square root of 36 plus 64. So square root of 100. So r would be 10, sir. which tells me that x squared plus y squared equals to 10.
Perfect. Now, if I say that the equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared equals to 10, then my next question to you is find y if x is equal to, let us say 4.
If x is 4, find y, right, sir?
Yes.
So in this case, I'll just input 4 in x, so 4 squared plus y squared equals to 100. So that will be 16 plus y squared equals to 100, which would be y squared equals to 100 subtracted by 16. So you would get, just give me a second, sir. I'm just going to calculate it. So 84.
Yes.
So y squared equals to 84. So y would equal to square root of 84 because 84 isn't a proper square.
Okay, one decimal place. Tell me the value, approximately.
So 1 decimal place?
Yes. 9.1.
Like rounded, sir. So then
Yeah.
I got 9.2 when I rounded it up.
Did we do some mistake here?
Where, sir?
In our calculation or whatever, our answer?
If we use 9.2 as 9.2 squared, 84.
We have to use plus and minus. Do you see that? And therefore, you get two values of y. One plus 9.2, the other minus 9.2. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, I forgot, sir, because it doesn't have to be at the top.
So if they ask you a question, given the value of x, and you have to find the value of y, you should square root with plus and minus sign, and so you get two answers, right? So for a given value of 4, that is going to be the answer, correct? Okay, so now next question for you is kind of like this. We have a circle here, perfect. Let me just draw one. And we have a point here. We say the equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared equals to, let's say 64, right? And if y equals to, let's say 5, find x, what will you do?
So if y equals to 5, sir?
Yes.
So x squared plus y squared equals to 64. X squared plus 5 squared equals to 64. So x squared equals to 64 subtracted by 12 squared. 39. So x would equal to plus minus square root of 39, sir?
Round to 1 decimal.
Oh, round to 1 decimal? Okay.
6 points.
So that would be plus minus 6.2 as x.
Very good. So you found both the values plus minus 6.4 because clearly when we say y value is 5, we are looking at these 2 points, right? Where we know that the y value is 5. So the x values are, as you can see here, plus and minus 6.2, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll give you a challenge question at the just in some time, but let's go through those simple questions first, right? Okay, so now what I'm trying to say here is that you have to figure out if the point is inside
Or outside?
outside
Or
or on the circle.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so if I have a circle, let's say with equation as x squared plus y squared equals to 25.
25.
Then my point is, let us say 3 and 5, correct? Now this point is inside, outside. Let me call this as the point A. So will this point be inside or outside the circle?
Okay, sir.
Or on the circle? What do you think?
Oh, without calculating it?
No, you have to calculate. Oh, without calculating, you could have told, but yes, calculate.
Sir, that would be outside the circle because if it were to be inside or on the circle, it would have to be the same number. The radius would have to be the same number as your points of coordinates. And if it's greater, it tells you that it's outside. And if it's less, that means it's inside.
Correct. So how about 2 and 4?
2 and 4. 2 and 4. 4 plus 16. 1 equals 2. It would be inside the circle, sir, because when doing the calculations, I got 20, and that tells me that it is less than the radius, which is 25.
Can you find 3 points on this circle?
The circle already given to us, sir.
Yes.
1 point would be point A, another point B, and this is with on the circle.
On the circle.
On it.
Yes.
Okay, sir. So I'm not sure if this would be correct, sir, but like x5 square y 0, that would be 25.
Okay.
Y 5 x 0, like positive 5.
Yeah. If you put x as 0, you get y equals to plus minus 5, correct?
Yeah.
If you put y equals to 0, you get x
plus minus 5.
So you definitely get these points, which is the easiest way of finding the points on the circle, right?
Yes, sir. And couldn't you also do line equation as well, sir, if you had 2 points?
Oh, yeah, you could, but that'll be more complicated, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let me just write down equation of circle as x squared plus y squared equals to, let us say some value 20, right? I'm not writing a number like perfect square this time. Is that clear to you, right?
Yes, sir. So now, it's like square root.
On this circle, give me 2 points on the circle.
Plus or minus 2 for x and plus or minus 4 for y, sir.
So coordinate point you have to mention, right? So you will say what? If you put x as 0, then the y value is?
Square root of 20.
Yeah. So square root of 20 is what?
Oh, square root of 20 rounded, right, sir?
You know, exact value. When you have square root of 20.
Oh, exact value?
Yeah.
4.4721359.
Square root of 20 can be written as 4 times 5. Do you see that? 4 times 5. So I could write this as 2 square root 5. Do you see that?
So because you're going by perfect square, right, sir? You're going by perfect square?
Yeah. So if you want exact value, this is what you have to give. You get the idea.
Okay, sir.
Correct. So now I have this circle and I have a line, which is, let's say the line for me is y equals to 2x plus 1, correct? That's my line, right?
Yes, sir.
Find the length of the chord.
Length of the chord, sir? So
is intercepted by the given line. You understand the question?
So there's an equation given and I need to use it to find the intercepted line.
Yeah. So we're given y equals to 2x plus 1. So plus 1 slope 2. So some line will go like this, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you have to find these 2 points and then the length of the chord. Do you see that? Let's say these 2 points are P and Q. So that is how you have to understand the question and then do it. How will you do it? Tell me.
So we already know the equation y equals to 2x plus 1.
Correct.
And we know that if x is 0, y would be equivalent to 1, so it would be equal to 1.
No. So the equation is x squared plus y squared equals to 20. We want to find the point of intersection of the circle x squared y plus y squared equals to 20 and the line y equals to 2x plus 1. How will you do it? Yes, this is a good question, right? Thinking question. Substitute the value of y here. You get the equation as x squared plus 2x plus 1 whole square equals to 20.
Oh, so basically substitution, right, sir?
Yes. And now find the value of x. It's a quadratic equation. Can you do it now?
Okay.
Do
Yes,
yourself.
sir. So I'm just gonna write down, so y equals to 2x plus 1, x squared plus y squared equals to 20. So x squared plus brackets 2x plus 1 squared equals to 20. So x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals 20. So x squared plus 4x equals to 19. I got 5x squared plus 4x equals 19, sir.
Yeah, so you bring 19 to this side, becomes a quadratic equation, and then you can find the value of x, correct?
Yes, sir.
So use quadratic formula and then find the answer. You remember the quadratic formula?
No, sir, we didn't learn that yet.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure whether this is factorable or not. So quadratic formula is that x will be equals to let me write the quadratic formula minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a, right? So where a is equal to 5, b is equals to 4, and c equals to minus 19. So plug these values in the formula, and then you can find the value of x. So you'll get two different values of x, correct?
Okay, sir.
Substitute those two values of x here and find corresponding value for y. So you got 2 points, and now use the distance formula to get the length of the chord. You get the idea.
So basically, so x equals to negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac, sir. And divided by 2a, we would just use our coefficients, right, sir? For like
Correct.
x would be 5, for x squared, and for x would just be 4, and whatever, negative 19.
Yes.
Okay, sir. And then from one, after plugging in, we would just solve for x, right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then. So that was a good question. Now, we could have a question from your book also. Would you like to share, or one more we'll take up? Let us say we have a circle with center whose equation is x squared plus y squared equals to 25, right? Now, if we have a chord which is going through the points let's say this is the circle. In that case, we know the circle has got a radius of 5, correct? So
yes, sir.
25 is there. So that is the circle with radius of 5. And one of the points on this is definitely 3 and 4, because 3 and 4, 3 square, 4 square, square root gives you 5, correct?
Yes, sir.
One of the point is 3, 4. Now, I'm saying that this chord is between the point 3, 4, let's call this as P, and this point Q will be 0, 5, right?
Yes, sir.
So what you have to verify is that right bisector of the chord PQ pass through origin.
Okay, sir. So for this one, we have to solve for midpoint, slope, and y equals mx plus b, right, sir?
Yeah, so do it and show me the solution.
Okay, sir. So for m of qp equals So, sir, I got y equals to 3x for the origin point, and for like the midpoint of PQ and going through origin as the right bisector, y equals 3x. And for the point line QP as the formula I got, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5.
You're right. So yes, plus 5 will be correct. So y equals to 3x is a line which will go through the origin because the y-intercept is 0, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is how you could verify.
So, sir, when doing the y equals mx plus b, is it okay if I use the formula like whatever I got as my midpoint? So
Yes,
equals to negative 1 over my original 2 points?
correct.
Would that be fine?
Yes.
So
So
that way I don't
midpoint,
have to solve for everything all over again,
the
right, sir?
midpoint you found as 3/2 and 9/2. Slope
Yeah.
was minus 1/3. Slope of the perpendicular line will be 3, negative reciprocal. Equation will be y equals to 3x plus b. And with y equals to 3x plus b, you found substituting 3/2 and 9/2 as your points that b is 0. And therefore, the equation is y equals to 3x. So this line goes through the origin, and therefore we have verified that the right bisector of the chord will go through the center of the
Center.
circle. In this case, the center is at the origin. Is that clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's how you're going to do it. Now, will you like to share questions from your book? We could quickly go through them, right?
Yes, sir. I'll start. Is it starting to load, sir?
Yeah.
You can see it, right, sir?
Yes, properties of circle. You can move along. Let's see one or two
Okay.
examples. The key or the summary.
So one
Correct.
is right bisector.
Right
of chords.
bisector is a very good example. Right bisector of a chord, which you can see goes through the center. So
Yes,
we
sir.
did exactly similar question. I mean, with different values, of course, and we got the same result, right?
Yes,
Move
sir.
on. Take the next example.
Points of circle.
Yes. So we are given, okay. Show that these points lie on the circle with the center C, 3, 4, 1. How will you do? Tell me. How will you answer this question?
So show that the points P, Q, and R lie on the circle with center C at 4 and 1. So what I'll first do, sir, is actually just put points on the circle. And because it says that show that C is at the center, I would do length formula. to
Yeah,
see how far it is and whether or not everyone is equal distance.
same distance.
And if I am able to find that all of them are same distance, this tells me that all the points are placed on the line.
Correct. So you find distance PC, QC, and RC as has been found, and you get it 41 square root. Since all the distances are equal, in this case, it was calculated to be 41 square root in the example. We verify that the center lies at C, correct?
Yes.
Now, tell me, if this is the center and that is the radius, what is the equation of the circle? Tell me now.
So does any other circle pass through points P, Q, R, sir?
No, no. Uniquely, circle is defined by 3 points. That's a very good thing which you brought up. So unique, it is circle is unique if we have identified 3 points on it. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me the equation of circle. We know that the
Oh,
center now is at 4, 1, correct? And the
yes, sir.
radius is square root of 41. And therefore, the equation should be what?
It should be x minus so g in brackets whole square plus y minus h in brackets whole square equals r square.
Which is 41. So the equation of the circle will be x minus 4 whole square plus y minus 1 whole square, since 4 and 1 are the centers of the circle.
Yes, sir. And
That
in
is
this
basically
case, would we use one of our 3 points that is given for x and y?
not required. You can
Oh,
verify that points lie on the circle. We can reverse the question, right?
okay, sir.
Now we are given the equation of the circle. You can now verify that those points will lie on this particular circle. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So we looked at from the other side, and there you go. Let's continue.
And this was the graph that they made, right, sir?
Yes, yes.
So here's the key concept. The diameter of a circle intersects at the point of the center of the circle. The right bisector of a chord of a circle passes through the center of the circle.
Correct.
The right bisectors of two chords of a circle intersect at the center of the circle.
Correct.
There is only one circle that passes through three given non-collinear points.
Correct.
So what does that mean?
These are collinear on the same line.
Okay, so like basically like in triangles, right? So like the isosceles triangle, like how we had the
So if we have
and okay,
then they are
so like all of
non-collinear.
them.
Non-collinear, 3.
Okay.
2 will
So 3 into 1, right, sir? So like all into 1.
Correct. So let's move on. Take some questions from here. Let's do question number 5. Can you read question number 5, please?
Verify that the center of this circle lies on the right bisector of the chord PQ.
Correct. So the procedure will be, can you say once again, what is the procedure?
So we have to first verify if the center of the circle lies on the right bisector PQ. So we would have to first find the midpoint. Yes. So if we do the equation of midpoint, we should be getting, so P, so that would be 3 minus 5 over 2 by 3 plus 5 over 2, which would be negative 1 over 4, sir, as our midpoint. And now what we have to do is we would just have to find the slope. So slope of MPQ would be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 5 minus 3 over 3 plus 5, which would just be 2 by 8, which is 1 over 4. And we would just do negative reciprocal. So then it would just be slope of MO would just be negative 4.
Yes.
And then we have to find our y equals mx plus b equation. So y would be negative 4x plus b. So that would be 4 equals to -4 multiplied by -1 plus b, which would be 4 equals to 4 plus b, which would be 4 minus 4 equals b, so 0 equals b. So therefore, our equation for the line of points MO would just be y equals to -4x, meaning that it will go through a ridge.
Perfect. So that is how we are going to do it. So you've done a very good question from here. Just move on and let's see more questions.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Question number 7, please.
Okay. A machinist needs to drill a hole into the center of a circular part. Describe how the machinist could mark the correct location for this hole.
Correct. Tell me.
So first we would have to know the points.
No, he will not measure any points. What will you do? Tell me. How will you find the center?
Find the center, sir?
How will you find the center? Tell me, of this circular disc, right?
There would need to be calculating the distance of all of them to find a circle.
So just draw 2 chords, right? One chord somewhere here, the other chord, and then draw the right bisectors, correct? So if you
Okay, sir.
right bisector here and a right bisector there, it will intersect at the center. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
That is how you have to communicate, explain, and write down complete answer.
So first identify 2 chords, then like 2
Any
places
2
of
chords.
chords, then have
Draw
right
any 2
bisectors.
chords. You draw any 2 chords.
Okay.
Perfect. So
Yes,
that is
sir.
how we'll do. Now, I'd like you to do question number 9, last question. On this.
Okay. Find the center of a circle that passes through points A, -7 by 4, B, -4 and 5, and C, 0 and 3.
Yes, how will you do?
So the center of a circle.
Yes.
So what I will do is first I would create chords, sir, from each other, like
Yes.
a chord and like 2 chords from each
Yes.
other. And then from there on, find the midpoints of those 2 chords and locate it on the point of origin.
Yeah.
So creating like x squared plus y squared equals r squared.
Yeah.
So from there.
Yes. So you'll connect any 2 points and write the chord like this, correct? So you'll connect.
Yes, sir. And after creating them and knowing their midpoints, I would be able to create right bisectors to help find it.
That is how you're going to do. So that is perfect. That's the way. So remember, this is how you have to do it. We know these are the 2 right bisectors. They will intersect at the center of the circle. Correct.
Okay, sir.
So these exercises might take some time, but easy way to do it. Now let's go to question number 17. Looks pretty long. Let's see how it is.
17?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so a pilot filed a flight plan that listed a cruising speed of 160 kilometers an hour with enough fuel on board for 3.5 hours of flying. After 2 hours, the aircraft passed over Lake Travis. The aircraft was reported missing when it failed to reach its planned destination. Sketch a diagram showing the area where the plane may have crashed. How long is this area and which part of the search area should be searched first?
Correct. What is going to be your approach? A pilot filed a flight plan that listed a cruise speed of 160 kilometers per hour.
And then
with enough fuel for time t equals to 3.5 hours.
So this tells us that
After
which
2 hours,
are x and y axis.
Yeah, after 2 hours, the aircraft passed over the lake. So let's say, so there is a lake here. So the pilot went over the lake. Sketch the diagram showing the area where the plane may have crashed. How will you do it? So the radius will be how much?
So first, sir, we already know like about our cruising speed and the time, right? It's supposed to take.
Yeah.
So from that, we already know our X and Y. So then what we can just do is we can just input it into our x squared plus y squared equals r squared equation,
So
sir.
find the radius first. What is going to be the radius? So multiply 160 kilometers per hour with 3.5 hours, you get the radius. So how much do you get?
So if we were to multiply 160 by 3.5,
3.5.
we would get 560.
So radius could be 560 kilometers, right? Now,
Yes,
you
sir.
know the lake. So, after 2 hours, so time is not precise, but after 2 hours, aircraft passes over the lake, right? So somewhere the lake is there, after 2 hours it crosses. So definitely it is within this particular area, right? So now you can actually sketch the circle with the radius of 560 kilometers, right?
Yes, sir.
On each side. And you know which area to search for, because it has to be, from where it started, right?
And where it is gone. Yes, sir.
So that becomes the circle. And where you should be looking at, sketch the diagram showing the area where the plane may have crashed. So it is anywhere in this area. Is that clear to you? Beyond?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it tells us that it's inside the circle.
Inside the circle, but after the lake starts. Do you see that? It could plunge in the lake also. Who knows how much further it went, but maximum it could do 560 kilometers, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that is how you're going to solve it. Now let's take up question number 13.
So draw a circle with center O, add any chord PQ with midpoint M. What can you conclude about triangle OMP and OMQ?
Tell me.
So we first had a circle with our center point of origin as O. Then we had a chord of 2 points. And then with our reasoning, right, sir?
Yeah.
So what can you conclude about triangle OMP and OMQ?
Correct.
So what I can say is that by looking at it, it tells us that our distance is divided into halves, sir. By just looking at it,
Yes,
meaning
yes,
that our
yes,
radius would be
yes.
divided by 2.
So they are congruent triangles, first thing first, right? They're absolutely
Yes, sir.
congruent triangles, correct?
Yeah.
Because their three sides are equal. OM is common, right?
Yeah.
And R are equal, right?
Equal distance.
Since the circle is drawn with center O, add any chord PQ, find with the midpoint. Since that is the midpoint, we know those two are equal, correct? So we know it's equal, both triangles are congruent, correct?
Equal. Yes, sir.
Now, that is all you can say, right?
Yeah.
And both these triangles, they are right angle triangles, because we have a chord and the center is going through this line through the chord, and therefore it has to be a right bisector. So OM is a right bisector, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that means they are right triangles,
Okay, sir.
correct? So all these things, they're congruent right triangles. Is that okay? So
Okay,
it's
sir.
congruent. So these, you know, communication questions are very important. You should know how to communicate and justify each statement which we are trying to say with the help of each example. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So I think we've done all these questions. I'd like you to try some questions on your own. And in case there is a difficulty, we can discuss that, right?
Okay, sir.
So how do you feel now? Do you think you have understood all the concepts?
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm more confident. I was able to understand more, and being able to use the formulas that I've already learned in the previous chapters.
Yeah,
I feel a little bit more confident when it comes to looking at diagrams, but what I could work on would be looking at word problems.
sure. There are a couple of them on this sheet. I'll also share with you some, okay?
Okay,
So
sir.
you can stop sharing and we'll end this session.
Okay, sir.
Okay, great. So sure, no other difficulty, right?
No, sir. No other difficulties.
Perfect. So if there is any, you can always send an email and share the question with me. We can discuss that. Okay,
Okay,
then
sir.
all the best and have a great day.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks. Bye.